Yo guys, Heimerdinger top is a rather underrated pick, so I go M-Tome so you get your Lost Chapter faster. Early on arguably could go on Early Oblivion, it's not really a necessity. And the good thing is you can cover two things at once, but I should then place a tower definitely here. I have a tower here already zoning the Cartus away, but I should then place one or two towers here so Mundo doesn't walk in so easily. Normally it would take some degree of damage actually, but he kinda did manage to get the ward off anyways. So that was a slight misplay on my part for not setting up towers on both sides, but I really didn't imagine both of them will try to actually get some wards off. Alright, time passes and I walk the safest possible way with staying in between the minions. We're gonna slowly push, poke as much as possible. We do have Conqueror, Absolute Focus, Mana Flow, and Mana Management cooldowns, this and that. Probably I should not go last turn because I will never go low on HP. That was a mistake on my part, and sometimes I would be able to get a kill if I had Coup de Grace. Or anything that remotely does damage, but regardless you're gonna do well. Early on you slowly push, ramp up the wave a bit, you know, basic attack poke, and just maintain the pokes. Every time he has Q cooldown, his Q has 4 seconds cooldown, though pretty low, but it costs him HP if he misses, and due to your mobility we can make our E. It does miss the stun part, but that's fine because it gets damage regardless. It does hit me with the Q there, could then mind game it a little bit better, and as we can see we are slowly pushing, placing our tower, pressuring, so you can pressure him properly away from the minions. We can poke to a lower extent, but when it comes down to the range ones, you can always like threaten some either like ease or even now, like it looked like I'm popping his passive, it just doesn't pop, but his damage gets stained pretty hard. And so like one of the cool things that you can actually like kind of like do as Heimer, at level 2 you can just spam the shit out of your W. It's only 50 mana and it does plenty of damage. You just gotta like know how to angle it. Go for a really nice trade here. And so in here I almost kill him. I have Ignite, you can go Ignite, Ghost Barrier, TP. I would mainly recommend the Combat Sum because you can hard stomp through lane. And in here I ignited too early, so I should then only ignite when my tower hits, so he's gonna be killed by the surprise damage. And in here I didn't flash in time, because if I did, he would die. Just he had the biscuit, so it was a bit of a misplay on my part. I kinda don't know how like Jarvan is level 2 now, maybe he got invaded or some shit, but we pick him up regardless. And so the good thing is in here we recall, Cartus intercepts, he does give up his flash though, and I almost killed him, but I think I had some type of slight misplay, so I E. But I didn't side, so I think I should ban E, sidestep his Q. Yeah, maybe E, then sidestep his Q, then look for a W basic, and maybe that would kill. It's a bit unfortunate, okay. So in here shit happened, that was like a slight misplay, I could just sort of rebotch on my own. And so what I want to show it to you guys is just like the power of Lost Chapter. So when you get a really nice early Lost Chapter, you know, you got plenty of mana, cooldown, AP, everything you really need. In here it forces a proxy, but I think this is the way, yeah, this is the way where he forces a proxy, but you know, fun fact, people want to proxy into Heimer because it's unlaneable, and I clear most of the minions, but the problem is into a cannon wave, you can't reliably proxy, like you will try to do that, but if I would have my Jarvan here, he would die. If he doesn't, that's fine. He's kind of being here. I thought he gonna walk to lane, so I slow pushed, but he kinda beat. I pulled a bit the wave on my side, and I could have set up a tower here as well. I just, I think I did do it, but I misplaced it slightly because it was hitting this minion, then it didn't. So it was kind of okay, because if he comes from this area, he gets poked a little bit. Which you can kind of like avoid, but at least like you have this like mobility area where you could like lean in for W's without pushing the wave. Slowly lost some bits of CS due to the slow push. Time passes and we move forward, right? Now Mundo doesn't have a lot on him, he builds his generic, you know, basically they always go, it's not Heartsteel because that shit, they go Warmox, then they go Heartsteel. Some of them go 3 giant belts as well, then they get Warmox. And we can see like, just because he tries to last hit, more than half of his HP is gone while I have full amount of safety and Conqueror completely stacked. So that's just insane. Okay, and now we are hitting 6. So every time your level is 6, it's really good to use your towers to dive actually, because if you're 6, you could also put down your big tower, and so on cannon wave, Once the cannon gets prioritized, even if you place down your towers, they will not get prioritized. So you get to either poke more or take more of the tower's HP down, so note that. Cartus does invade a little bit, he hovers my side, but I'm not very gankable because Mundo is flashless, Rless, and I do have my Ignite up, so you always have like a really nice control what you can get off in the enemy jungle, and in here you walk into him. You know, my tower even tanks his Q, so that's why I say you don't really need 2 potions, you don't even need D-Ring HP, you just need an M-Tome. And in here Cartus shows off, I poke him a little bit in case Jarvan messes with him anytime soon. Main emphasis on wave clear, but I missed my E a little bit. Chip him down, I try to poke him, poke misses, definitely well sidestepped on his part. And this is like kind of a clunky play because oh yeah, he missed his EQ, like, yash, and then he got dived. Then I had a misplay on my part, so I didn't know he will flash how's it called, Mundo's Q, so I tried to tank it. But then I tanked it for no reason and like just kinda die in here, I think. Do I? No, I kill Cartus, I die. I tried to place down my Q, but like, if his Q was slightly faster up, yeah, maybe if I sidestepped or something, but yeah, it was kinda hard to sidestep because he just basics me then. Then the problem is Jarvan fought him, but he got 6, so it was kind of a bit clunky, but you know, LeBlanc showed up, missed his chain, which was a bit clunky as well, but the good thing is that she does pick him up, so it's not the end of the world. And because, you know, so it doesn't look like Jarvan dies, but we can rotate mid lane, because if he covers my top side, we can cover his mid side, so okay, let's move on. Tuck, tuck, tuck. And we walk away in here, we wave clear a little bit, we collapse on Alistar, sadly he will flash here. I tried to even like sort of get a nice E out, but he had Swifties and I missed a part of my W, so I think maybe it would hit if the 2 rockets hit him, but I missed a little bit my W. And so what happens in here is that he gets a Drake, kinda there, zoning away the Alistar, he gets some grabs, place one of my tower down for mobility safety, poke him down a little bit, his moon plating is off, and pretty much like what you're trying to do most of the times is to push into either like a rotation for a camp, potential invades if even, but that's a bit more rare. And even in here, Cartus gets stunned, I chain it up with my own stun, I mean knocked up, then stunned by me. We move on, go back to top lane, right? So in here, like, we can slowly poke down Mundo and dive him with Jarvan if he feels like. But for some random reason, like, he does actually pad towards his top side, the Cartus, which is a bit weird, because I think he wants to contest his camp, but it's mostly gone. It's mostly gone, so he will take this. It's a mid gank off Demacia. Cartus pads away because it's a bit risky to gank me. Same thing, you know, every time he tries to last it, you punish him. That's the most consistent timing for it. And basically, we have such a massive advantage with some, you know, misplays here and there, this and that, but with some misplays here and there, obviously. And so look at this, guys. So every time he steps up, gets poked, I should bang at Oblivion Orb at this point. So that was a big misplay on my part. As soon as I could, if I ever wave clear, I should just like on 800 gold get Oblivion, and he's so cooked. That was a big misplay on my part, because if you look at his regen, he's just plain health regen is kinda high, right? Look at this. I know he used the potion, but still, if second wind, D shield, everything is on, his health regen can be rather high. And so this is like his base one, so this is how much he heals by default. Which still could be cutted, you know, but we can see second wind, D shield really ramps up by insanely a lot his health regen, so cutting that is, I kinda choked my W, and the Jarvan again misses his EQ. Actually gets out. That was actually misplayed on my part, though. I rushed a bit the play. I could have just maybe wait a bit more for Jarvan. I just got aggroed, then it got a little bit inconvenient. But definitely, if you get an Oblivion Orb, in my case, At any fight Mundo he would be dead here as an example. Just insanely specs the champion. Here we I think we tried to fight, but I can't lean in for a knee until I W him and he dies, but actually Jarvan kinda steals that, but I'm not sure, it maybe wouldn't kill the tick because he regens so much. I placed my tower down, that kinda scares a little bit Zed because I guess tower's a bit scary. And he does R, but he dies, right? He dies, I place down a Q, and I have an insane mind game as well here. So I place down my Q, and I pretend that I walk back here and I recall here, so that W is through the wall. I see that he's recalling, right? And so what I do is that I Q, and I pretend I be here, right? And because I pretend I be here, he wants to W through the wall and snipe me with a Q, right? Now what LeBlanc does is that she intercepts that with a really nice chain into everything, and he dies. Boom. That's it. Well played on his part. Karthus shows up, doesn't catch his I don't know how the fuck does this guy even like Perma sit in our jungle, but oh well. I think maybe they could then potentially try to dive, but it can get dicey. She picks up the wave, and so this is like where like people start to perma flip kills. There will be some good plays that I can kind of like showcase, but generally speaking, there will be like lots of flips, and the rest of the game will be just like a coin flip because people just started throwing too much on my side. But I think you guys got the educational, the pressure, you know, the educational value, how much you pressure with this champion in general, and you can see like your skirmishing power is very, 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 very strong. But that's it for now, guys. Have a nice day and see you all in the next one.